Welcome to week 2. I appreciate everyone posting their bios and posting some interest that they have in the course, and we will try to incorporate many of your ideas as we go through this term. Also, please use the reply feature in posting where you can reply to someone else's postings if you would like to provide an alternative viewpoint, or you would like to just add something to a comment. But do keep in mind, each week we'll do very comprehensive summaries of all of the postings that occurred during that week. And of course, we've done that for week 1. And for each week, usually on Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be posting a summary of everyone's comments and what we think we accomplished. And we can't post everyone's comments, of course, but we'll probably post the highlights, and we will from time to time mention specific comments that individuals make. So this week we're getting started in the area of top of the organization. We all know that it's often said that leadership and ethics is all about the tone at the top. And so we're exploring the areas of corporate governance, top management decision making, and we look at an in-depth look at Enron. And Enron is probably known as one of the most eventful ethical breakdowns in business history. At the time, it was the biggest loss that ever had occurred in a company going bankrupt, and soon after that, it was even larger at WorldCom. But we think that Enron is an excellent case to use in class because it brings in the big question: what is the role of top management? And in writing our Enron case, we had an opportunity to interview Ken Lay for 4 hours after his conviction, and we gained a lot of insights from him. But I think that Linda's going to mention what happened to Andy Fastow.
Andy Fastow got out of prison a few years ago, and he's been speaking in the past, let's say, 6 months, fairly aggressively. What he's talking about is principle-based business ethics. He said the one thing that could have saved Enron, he said it wasn't laws, it wasn't regulation, it wasn't the code of ethics. He said they needed something that actually guided their behavior in all types of situations. And he calls it the need for principles within organizations. So he is probably the biggest proponent right now on the talking circuit for something that goes beyond your code of ethics, what your lawyers or general counsel say you can and can't do, because those are bendable, he says, bendable and breakable. He says, but principles are enduring, and they guide behavior, and they guide behavior in positions where you really are not sure what to do. They're true gray areas within the organization. So I think it's interesting that his tone is so very different. And he admits he engaged in a lot of wrongdoing. He's the person who actually turned over evidence on Jeff Skilling, former CEO, and Ken Lay. And it's just interesting to see the way his career is playing itself out now that he's out of prison, trying to capitalize to some extent on what he learned in his negative experiences with Enron.
When Andy Fastow went to the University of Colorado at Boulder to speak, we understand there were students standing out in the hallways interested to see what he was going to say, which brings up another question as business ethics educators. Should we be having in people who have criminal records to talk to our students about ethics? Are they the experts? Or are we going to learn how to avoid these mistakes in the future? Any comments on that?
I personally believe that some of it is warranted, particularly the more severe, I'm more skeptical. The higher the compensation, I'm more skeptical. But I think a balance, same with cases, and the way we address the course. Cases need to be a balance of very positive actions within companies, then companies that have stumbled and had to rebuild their culture and regrow their reputation. So I think students can learn, but I don't want to put the emphasis on that area in terms of speakers.
I agree. I would say a rule of thumb is if you're going to have in a speaker who's been involved in criminal activity, you should have in maybe 5 speakers to 1 negative one, 5 positive. 5 speakers that come from organizations where they've done everything right. So we hope that you will enjoy the module today. Of the videos, following this video, we had some interviews with Terry Clark from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, who has done a lot of work in the area of corporate governance, and I think you might enjoy some of his comments. So thanks.
And also, if you want to reach us directly, feel free to email lfarrell@unm.edu or ofarrell@unm.edu. And you can just tap into us directly if you'd like to do that, as opposed to something that you'd like to roll outside the course platform. Thank you.